Hey everyone, and welcome back to JaYo Reviews. I'm here with the lovely Valerie.
Hello.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning, good night, good evening. We decided we had to do this. It's like 1:30 a.m. over here on the East Coast, and
Yes.
we jumped at the opportunity to do this because there has been so much talk. The streets are talking so loudly about Bridgerton season three, part two. I was like, we need to talk about it.
We were going through all the comments that we found online, and ooh,
No.
some of them are coming in hot.
Hot!
Like so hot.
I see.
Now we have to preface this. We have not seen the season. I have not we have not watched it yet.
Mm-mm.
I wanted to watch it tonight, but I'm holding off with my little sister so
No.
we can watch it together tomorrow.
Mhm.
Um, but let's dive in, shall we?
Let's get into this. Let's get into this. I think we have to start the first controversy. So, just FYI, this is a spoiler, like heavy episode. So, if you do not want spoilers about Bridgerton season three, part two, please don't watch this. Okay. I
Yeah.
totally understand. I don't want to spoil this for you. I just, yeah, don't watch this. Okay.
It's almost like this is like a hot off the presses kind of moment, or like
Exactly.
it's like the play that just came out. It's like opening night of the play, and
Mhm.
you're waiting for the rodeo. So this is kind of what this is.
Absolutely. And like the
So
biggest thing that has blown up the flippin' internet and social media has been Michaela. Michaela. Now, if you haven't
Michaela.
heard, Michaela was supposed to be Michael, aka the real paramour, the real love interest of Francesca, one of the Bridgerton daughters. And spoiler alert, at the end of this season, part two, they decided to switch the gender and to make Michael Michaela. Now, why is this an issue?
Here's why this is a bit of an issue. Now, I can't speak of it from a representation standpoint. I
Yeah.
can speak of it though as a storytelling point.
Mm,
Now, I have not read the books. I have not read the Bridgerton books. However, I've obviously read the forum, I've read online the stories or whatever. It seems to me that people are very excited about Francesca's storyline, that she was the most pure, she
yeah.
had the most Michael apparently was the most supportive, the favorite love interest out of every love interest in the Bridgerton series. And then people were so looking forward to seeing the story.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing this and this here's where I think the issue comes in.
Yeah.
I think it's the showrunner,
Mm-hmm.
if we're being quite frank. The
Yeah.
showrunner came in from she came in and was like, I want to write from the female perspective. I have at the first and foremost, I want to put queer love at the center of the story,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I want to do. And it seems like there was like a checklist or something what that she was looking at and being like, well, I did that, I did that when she was doing the whole season. And it's not just this one moment, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
um like she wanted to like challenge something.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, what are you challenging? It's Bridgerton. It's already like put in such a high stake for representation. It's already challenged the narrative and the norm of who we see and who can fall in love. We already did that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're coming in and running a show, now again, I'm not a showrunner by any means whatsoever, but if you're coming in and running a show, I would imagine you would want to support the storyline
Yeah.
that people love,
Mm-hmm.
that people want to see brought to life from these books. You
Facts.
shouldn't be coming in with an agenda, which is what this seems like maybe this was. I don't know if agenda is the right word,
Yeah, but maybe.
but maybe but
Yeah.
maybe it just seems like you changing the storyline for the sake of changing the storyline makes
Mm-hmm.
no sense. You have to have um a reason.
Right.
And the reason can't be I want to do it just because. It can't be.
Right.
No, you had Francesca apparently like was so in the books, but apparently she's just so. emotionally devoted to her husband. Now
Yeah.
you made this character, you set her up to be like emotionally cheating on her husband.
Mhm.
There's
And the
no,
biggest problem really is the fact that they're alienating a whole story and plot line about infertility. Francesca was known for being the one dealing with infertility issues when she so badly wanted a child.
yep,
And this is something that we don't talk about enough in society. Like the fact that women have such problems with fertility and like miscarriages, for example. It's a
yep,
topic that's not talked about enough. It's still, even in this 21st century, something that we hide and are ashamed of, to a certain degree. And this story highlighted this to such a in such a beautiful way. That's why people are big mad. They don't
yeah.
care that, you brought in a lesbian and you're making
Okay,
Francesca a
whatever.
lesbian. They were like, make somebody else, gay. Make
Like
Benedict gay. Make Eloise, which makes
Eloise,
total sense because she's like such a hater of like,
men.
and not totally men. She's a hater of the way that society has made the role of men and women. That's what she's a
Yeah,
hater of. She doesn't want to be just an accessory. She doesn't want to be like, uh, how to say, stuck in a marriage where she
right.
has to be like one way and the only way, you know? That's
Yeah,
what Eloise is hating on. She wants an equal partnership, or maybe she wants to be more of a partner in the relationship. Who knows? But she could have been gay. She could have been a lesbian.
and Benedict, he had a flirtation, and if
Mhm.
we remember, I think back in season one, he had a flirtation with a man. That
Exactly.
clearly, that literally went nowhere. I was like, you literally set up that storyline where he could have been
Mhm.
bisexual, he could have been gay, you
Oh,
could have had that male lover, it could have been fine. Why would you take this character who did have this pure storyline, the storyline about infertility, and you
mhm.
just made her a lesbian, or
Yep.
you put in this lesbian love lesbian love interest for no reason other than to challenge the norm.
Yeah.
Come on, you had
Don't do that.
no. I'm
No.
not here. I'm not here for a showrunner that wants to change, that wants to just that has something that they want to bring to the forefront, and make that and change everything about that storyline to just bring it to the forefront. There needs to be a reason, and there was no reason. Um,
Exactly.
I was not pleased when I read that.
Mhm.
Only, and again, it's not because of the representation. Cool. I don't like. I love. Great. We love queer love. We love that.
Absolutely.
Not.
We're here for it. In fact, in the comments, there's so many women who have come forward and men who are
Yeah.
from the LGBTQIA plus communities who are like, listen, I identify as X. I identify as Y. I want a queer love story 1000%. Francesca was not the one.
Yep.
She wasn't the one to have the story.
And
Why
not to mention,
why did you choose her?
and not for nothing. Queen Charlotte. You had the two guards
Hmm.
had this lovely story. People want to see that that
Facts.
backstory. Why don't you focus on that too?
Exactly.
Or
Exactly.
make another season of Queen Charlotte and just have that be
Hmm.
the backstory. We all
Yeah.
want another season of Queen Charlotte. Boom,
Mhm.
there you go. But I really, and that's why the Lord of the Rings series really didn't work, because it had a checklist of stuff. That's why House
The
of the
Ring of
Dragon,
Power. Hmm.
yeah, the Rings of Power, or the what is it, the ring or the rings?
I don't even know, to be honest.
Sorry, Lord of the Rings fans, if you're watching this, RB. But the Rings of Power, ring, whatever the fuck. Sorry, whatever that was. And what was the other show that we were talking about? That
You were saying House of Dragon. I mean, I
House
haven't
of
watched
Dragon.
either of these shows. I do
It's
know that a lot of people like House of Dragon. Uh,
I like House of Dragon because it's a great storytelling moment,
uh,
but there's a little bit of just like it seems like, I mean, the showrunner
Genda.
left, I think. Someone big on that show left. Um
Yeah.
but also, and may I remind you of Sex in the City and Just Like That. Must we bring that into the conversation?
Oh, I've heard terrible things about that.
Awful, god awful, god
Oh
awful. Never should
gosh.
have been made. Don't know why there's a season three, but that's
Mm.
just I'm sorry again for the Sex in the City slash and Just Like That people. Guys, it's not a good show. I love you all, but it's not a good show. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It's not. It's really not. Just even from a storytelling perspective, not a good
Mhm.
show.
Yeah.
Like, mm-mm. Anyway, so Bridgerton.
Bridgerton. Yeah, other criticisms, like one, for example, was the fact that a lot of people are big mad that Penelope and Colin weren't featured as much. That because they were
Mhm.
trying to give love to all of the people and all of the different matches that they had. They were like, you didn't focus enough on their story, and there's so much of their story right in the books.
I agree.
Um, yeah.
I'll agree with that. And we even
Mhm.
saw that in the first part of the
Yeah.
season. They there was so many storylines.
Mhm.
That was not the problem in season one and season two. You had the one main support storyline, and then you had the supporting stuff.
Right.
This season, this showrunner is trying to cram in all this backstory stuff and making it just as important as the main love interest. Like we did not need. We needed a season purely of
All
Colin and
them.
Penelope. We didn't.
Yeah.
We could have waited for Francesca.
Oh,
We could have waited for Francesca. We could have waited for Benedict and his old stuff. And obviously, like he's like it is obviously Colin's story, but like if they didn't get enough screen time, we didn't if they didn't have the same devotion that Daphne and Simon had, or Kate and
right.
Anthony. Like Kate, I love season two, strictly because of the buildup of everything that happened, and you didn't even get real sex scene until I'm sorry, episode 7, which was the
Right.
second to last because the slow burn was so beautiful. And that's why I going back to see it just comes down to the showrunner.
Right.
That's what I really liked about the first showrunner for the first 2 seasons.
Mhm.
And he wrote these beautiful storylines for these women. Talk about you want to talk about representation. There's a lot of people
Mhm.
who will say, a man shouldn't be writing for a woman. I agree with that to an extent. But if
Mhm.
the man understands what it's the female perspective and does
That
it
part.
respectfully and does
Mhm.
it beautifully and does it in a way that women can be like, you know what? Yes, I finally feel seen.
Yeah.
Boom. Season one and season two.
Facts. Yeah.
This
And it's
season,
so, to me, I was just gonna say it's so sad because like I feel like the message you're sending by not focusing on Penelope and Colin is that a plus size beautiful woman cannot be the main character of a story. And,
never.
and to me, I'm like, that's so wrong because so many people were writing like hard for this couple and really excited to watch this season. And
I was.
you've decided, no, 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 we don't want them to be the focus.
I'm a bro. I'm plus sized. Do you know
Hmm.
how happy I was to finally see like myself reflected on the screen as a plus
Hmm.
size love interest? And I was like,
Yeah,
oh, finally, we're not the butt of a joke.
exactly.
And lo and behold, at least for the first part of the season, I was like, where is it?
Facts.
And if it's really, and if season two, it really just doesn't focus on Colin and Penelope, what
Hmm.
the hell are we doing?
Mm.
Again,
Yeah,
we love you, Shonda, but Shonda, and not for nothing, y'all. If you're watching this, please be
yeah.
kind. Like I know that we're just giving very honest opinions, but
Mm.
some of the comments that we've seen online
Oh my
are are
goodness.
really
Out of pocket,
out of
y'all.
pocket.
Out of pocket.
It's extraordinarily rude of what some people are writing.
Hmm.
So if you're planning on watching Bridgerton season the second part and you want to post about it online, do it. Also be very kind. Like
Yeah.
do it with a little bit of compassion. Like we might not seem compassionate in this one, but we actually are. We're just
We
stating.
totally are. Because like to be honest, like being fair, there are lots of comments that people have said that I'm like, I totally get it. Like, for example, the fact that, like, why don't you just stick to the books that Julia Quinn wrote so beautifully? Because Shonda Land took them and really switched them from season one. She's changed things. She's made it her own world. They were the basis. They were the base, right, for like this world, but they weren't like the end all be all. She didn't stick to them from the beginning. So why are
No,
people expecting her to stick to them now? Right? And I
fair.
think that's completely fair. That being said, I also think it's very fair for those people who are like, when you do have the books and they are so loved and they did so well, why not stick to the stories that are in the books, at least as like the meat and potatoes of your story? Because you already have a base of people who are big fans of that that will translate to the TV show, which I think is fair as well and is smart marketing in my mind.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get more of a fan base.
And the marketing for this season was actually really good, but it
Mhm.
seems
Oh
like
yeah.
the marketing
But it was
versus
false, I think, a little bit.
that's what I'm saying. It
Yeah.
feels like it was
Hmm.
a lead up. Now, again, we haven't seen part two yet. We're just doing
Yeah.
this out of speculation. So, but part one
Mm.
seemed very different than from what I was expecting from the marketing. Like, I was
Exactly.
expecting more of an interaction with Lady Danbury and Kate. I was
Hmm.
expecting more of Kate and Anthony, to be honest with you.
Mm.
I know I obviously they're married and they're doing their thing. That's great, but
Yeah.
they were such a great part of what made Bridget. They also kind of made Bridgerton even more popular than what it was for season one because
Yeah.
that story was told so well in season two.
Absolutely.
So, anyway,
Yeah.
Bridgerton.
No, and another, point that people said, like there were so many scenes that are in the books that they didn't put in the movie. Like for example, there's a scene apparently when, Penelope is outed as Lady Whistledown in front of everybody. And in the
Right.
books, Colin is right there by her side, like supporting her. But in the movie, they decided to not have that. Like he is on the outside watching and she's by herself. And
Really.
I hear both sides of the argument, I get it. Like on one side, people are appalled because they're like, this was such a beautiful moment for Colin to like stand up for his, future wife, whatever, there in front of society. And
Yeah.
I get that. And I'm totally, totally down with that. At the other hand, there's some people who are like, no, this was a moment of like female empowerment and to show that she can stand up for herself and like she doesn't need a man. And I'm like, I get that too. I just think
It's a
there's
love
nothing
story.
wrong. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a partner
God, no, if anything,
support
we need
another partner.
more of. If anything, maybe now we need to show those stories where the partner is supporting the other partner more. Like, look, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm all about female empowerment. Do not
Mhm.
get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with the partner supporting their partner
Hmm.
and and especially if it's a male female relationship. I feel like we
Hmm.
need to see that more.
Yeah.
We already established that Penelope is a force to be reckoned with. She
Right.
started a business. You know,
Hmm.
it would be beautiful if Colin Bridgerton from a prominent family was able to be at her side and support her
Mm.
and be like, I don't care what you all think in society.
Yeah.
We didn't if that's oh my God. I didn't know that see, I didn't know that happens, but oh
Mm.
no.
Yeah, that
No.
happens. I know. Spoiler.
No, it's okay, it's fine. We are going into this. Listen, I'm in bed right now. So
Yeah.
like yeah, full disclosure, fam. I'm in bed. I'm welcome. Yeah, I'm like full on like in a blanket, my
Mhm.
pajamas. Hello. My pillow, which is so comfortable. Thank you, Nick Morelli, my sister's boyfriend. Thank you, Nick Morelli, DDS.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, so that's why I'm a little bit more punchy. Uh,
Mm.
oh my God.
And don't get me wrong, some people also brought up like about the infertility thing. They're like, well, another sibling can have infertility issues and they can talk about that group couple and all of that. Again, I understand both sides of the argument because it's like, but when the story has already been written and developed so well, and it's not just about the infertility, it's also about Michael being such a beloved protagonist
Exactly.
in that story, you
He is
know?
the most supported love
Mm.
interest of the Bridgertons. It's
Yeah.
been stated.
Mhm.
But what else? Oh, and then Benedict's little
Oh yeah,
sex
that
scene.
part. I get it because I'm a black woman. Like there was such excitement after part one, right, where people were speculating that finally Benedict would meet Sophie, who's was betrothed in the book.
Mhm.
And there were lots of talks of her being a dark black-skinned woman. They had lots of speculation on who it would be, and finally landed on one of the actors. I forget her name now, but like I was super excited, and I know a lot of people we're super excited too. And it's disappointing. Actually, I think it's the woman who's playing Michaela, who,
Oh,
in
is
fact,
it?
I
No,
think that actress, the actress who's
no.
playing Michaela, was who everyone thought would be Sophie. And, I know for myself, I always love seeing a Black woman, a dark-skinned Black woman be lauded on TV. Um, and I really
That part.
wanted to see that.
Yes.
I really wanted to see that. I'm sad that, they decided, oh no. Oh, let us
Well,
not do that.
here's the thing. The good
Mhm.
news. Well, they're saying there's going to be like 2 years before the net, which is really stupid, I might add, but whatever. It is. I'm sorry. 2 years to wait for an 8 episode show. Come on. Like I know that everyone is getting very popular, but
Yeah.
2 years. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shonda and the team has an opportunity to read the comments online because a lot of people are saying they don't want to watch the show anymore. They feel like
No.
the show was destroyed. They feel like this
No.
season just took them out of the magic that was Bridgerton. If
Hmm.
Shonda and the team listened and maybe listen to what the people are saying,
Hmm.
perhaps something can change down the line. Now, apparently, this next season is going to be like will be a 2 year time jump. Who knows?
Yeah.
So maybe something will happen. I don't know, but like this could be like another Sonic the Hedgehog situation. You know the Sonic the Hedgehog situation, right? Like the
No.
internet. So the one thing the internet agreed on
Uh-huh.
was that when the initial Sonic the Hedgehog, the first movie, the trailer came out,
Yeah.
Sonic looked terrifying. He did not look like he did not look like Sonic the Hedgehog. He looked
Right.
like an actual hedgehog, and it was terrifying. It was like little buck teeth, little beak. It looked like a monster. Okay, it was like something out of a freaking nightmare. The
Uh-huh.
internet finally came together and full on said, absolutely not. We do not accept this.
Mhm.
Even if we're not Sonic the Hedgehog people, we do not accept this.
Yeah.
The director came out and said, we've heard you. We're going to fix it. And they did. And it became a huge hit. And why? Because the internet came together and the director and the team listened.
Get it.
Fans want. The fans want what they want. If you're a diehard and like it's with any kind of book to movie adaptation.
Hmm. Oh
The
yeah. I mean, people were fierce about HP, you know. So I
yes,
think it's beautiful that people are fierce about this.
people
Like,
HP, The Hunger Games,
oh
Divergent,
yeah.
which I just watched the other night.
Hunger
Even
Games?
no, I didn't watch The Hunger Games. I watched Divergent for the first time, which
Oh,
is
Divergent. Yeah. Mm,
what a comedy. But we have to talk. It was giving like Harry Potter, The Hunger Games. It was giving
yes.
like the breaking of the Berlin Wall at one point.
Oh yeah. All of
Uh,
those things.
it was very like
Hmm.
now I see. I get this the dystopian era and why it was so popular. But like
Hmm.
you do have passionate fans, but it just also seems that it's fans of the TV series as well that are just so disappointed with how the show has veered off with this new
Right.
show. And again, this is perspective. This is just mine. I just do not speak for
Hmm.
everybody, but
Oh,
it,
and I mean,
it's
and I'm with
disappointing.
the people, and I get it. Like, it's so disappointing. Like, even with the Benedict thing, at the end of, part two, like he goes have a tryst with two people, and they were like, if you
Point
want
was
to make him, bisexual and all of that, please, for all purposes, do that. But like, give him some depth. Like, give him a story
yeah,
that's interesting and worth, like really going in deeply about. And it felt
well,
like it was kind of a throwaway thing just to show him as like a
as a as someone that just likes to
playboy or
right.
whatever, you know?
Well, I was reading somewhere, I was reading that apparently in the show, and again, I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know. Maybe I
Right.
misread it wrong, but apparently, like, someone asked to, like, close the relationship between the throuple, that is Benedict and the two people,
Yeah.
and the one asked they close it, and he's like, no, I don't want that. You've opened my eyes, and I want more. So now I'm like, okay, is he gonna be in a non-monogamous relationship, or is he gonna be in a
Mm.
couple? Like, what are we looking at right now?
Oh
I didn't think that
goodness.
was in the book, but I'm interested in seeing the reaction of that from
Mm.
everybody. That will be interesting.
Yeah.
if they do take it off into a well that he's not monogamous.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like, of course, we want all types of story. At the same time, this is Regency.
I don't
And I'm
think there was
like,
like I don't know if there was thruples in the Regency.
that's the thing. Like in
But
terms
we
of
don't know.
LGBTQIA plus couples, that definitely existed. I mean, that was one of the
Biggest.
arguments that people said. They were like, well, back in that day, homosexual relationship didn't exist. And it was like they absolutely did. The Lady
Pretty sure
Gentleman is
I'm
is a beautiful story, right?
I'm pretty sure that the
Mhm.
homosexual relationships have been around since the world was created.
Oh,
So
I'm
any
sure.
kind of so lock that, throw that idea down the well, throw the
Mhm.
key in, put a piece of wood over that well. Don't
Right.
let it out anymore. Let it just drop for eternity because that's ridiculous. No,
Absolutely.
homosexual relationships, LGBTQIA relationships have been around for
Mhm.
centuries. Like
Forever.
same with and honestly,
Uh-huh.
same with same with triples probably. There was probably I'm sure
Oh,
there
I'm
was
sure. I'm sure. I mean, hello, there's been polygamy for centuries. You know what I mean?
it
That
started
being
the day
said,
after the world was created.
even though there's been polygamy for century, it, often has not worked. Like, that's just my 2 cents. Like, it is very hard for that to be a thing,
That's why it's like
to actually
I
work.
mean, like open communication must be essential, and I think
Listen,
that
the reason why the rules were even created, like for example, when we come to Islam, but we can talk about that another time, was so to make it difficult because they literally said you can only be in a polygamous like relationship. You can only marry another woman if you promise to make both of the relationships equal.
Mhm.
How can you make it 50-50? It's almost impossible. Like everything has to be the same between the two people.
Between the
And
two
like
wives, but
yeah,
you have like people make but polygamy is one thing, then you have polyamory,
polyamory is a totally different thing. Yeah.
totally different.
Where
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like, polyamory, I get. Polygamy, I'm like,
polygamy. Well, yeah, that's why I'm like sister wives. Hello, but
oh my gosh,
um,
look at how horrible that went.
oh my god, who's the only one that's left with it? Robin, Sabin. Oh my god,
Which
that show.
one?
My my sisters love that show, Michelle and
Uh-huh.
Justine. The last couple months they had been binge watched. Justine made it a point to binge watch the entire thing.
Oh
And
wow.
there was like a few months that we were watching Sister Wives,
Mhm.
and these women looked so miserable with this narcissistic douchebag.
Hmm.
Finally, Christine had the guts to leave. Then it
Yeah.
was Meredith, and then it was Jan- I think Janelle. I don't know. It was three out of the four wives have left him, and
Oh yeah.
they've looked better. The, the only one that's with him now is a woman named Robin, and the
Uh-huh.
internet calls her Sabin because she's constantly crying all the time.
Oh,
Oh, it's
oh
awful.
my
But this was
God.
you look at a picture of her before she came into the polygamy marriage, you
Yeah.
look at her now, she
Mhm.
looks Les Miserables, this poor woman, and I'm just like, just leave this guy, leave
Just
this
leave
guy
him.
alone. So, but these three
Mhm.
women that left him, they look fantastic. They sound fantastic. They're
Oh my
so like, oh
gosh.
my God, Janelle and Christine are like best friends. Like I
Uh-huh.
want a
Yeah.
TLC spinoff of them. And
Mm.
but yeah, no, they pure sister wives is purely a reason as to like why polygamy does not work.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah,
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
again to each, but listen to each again to each his own.
Do you, boo
Um,
boo? Is what I always
yeah,
say. Do you, boo boo? Just be happy if you can be. Be happy.
yeah, we're happy, and maybe Benedict will be happy being polyamorous if they go that
Hey,
way. I don't know. Who
maybe you
knows?
will. I just, I know again that that's another story. I mean, maybe all of the stories are really beloved, but it's another story that people love. People love a good Cinderella story,
They
and
do.
they love how Benedict grows in his story due to his being enamored with Sophie. And I,
And he
I love
has
that.
and he hasn't really grown all that much, right? Like he's had. I mean, we've seen him obviously in the series, but we've
Yeah,
always seen him kind of be this playboy and the
exactly.
kind of guy that like this was the first season I saw where he truly had depth. Like
Yeah.
he maybe his motivations as to why he was the way he was, and
Mm.
how he reacted to society. I'm like, okay, great. Well, I'm glad there's like a reason to the madness, and you're not just like, a two-face level. What's the phrase that I want to use? It's 1:30 in the morning.
Oh, like two-dimensional?
Two-dimensional, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
it's 1:57 in the morning.
I know, right? So we're gonna stop. Yeah,
It's
and
okay. I'm
real
just living my life.
fast.
Bro, I'm living my life. And this, listen, I have a half day at work tomorrow, so this is all good. I love it. I'm
Mhm.
enjoying my life.
Oh.
Only way that I want to spend a Thursday night is talking about that. But like some of the let's go through some of these comments, shall we?
Yeah.
Let me pull up Facebook. By the way, can I just say you're doing a great job on these reviews and everything like that? Like you're nailing it.
Yeah.
Just in general in life. Jackie, you and
Thank
everybody.
you.
I love her.
Oh, I
Really.
appreciate you.
I appreciate you. I love your series. You do such
Thank
great
you.
work with it.
It's
Okay,
fun. I'm glad I'm finally like on it.
okay, let's see. So some of the comments. Okay. Why change Michael to Michaela? It will change the whole story. That got 218 reactions on that post.
Oof.
Now here's a top fan. Yes, just finished it. It was awesome, worth the wait. Now they announced that they're going to make two. It's going to be 2 years before the next season, which is
Hmm.
stupid, but we've already established that.
Right.
I am so over the fact that the next season is 2 years away. The point of this was to watch the family we love grow up and each get to their own story. At this rate, we are going to lose the original cast to other projects or other things. I
Mm.
just wish they would truly invest to do what is needed to be done to get these seasons completed quickly and keep this series as magical as it is. Now, obviously, like time is time. You have
Right.
to make something beautiful. You have to take the time. They can't just rush it. But I
Facts.
agree, 2 years is a very long time.
Hmm.
Spoiler, this was my favorite season so far. I wanted to see more pollen, but I'm greedy. The change to how Penelope unmasked herself instead of letting her man do it for her was clap, clap, clap.
Mm. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I hear
Anyway,
that.
I okay. But female empowerment moment, great. But on the flip side, like it would have been great to have her man
Of
also stand
course.
by her. Maybe while she was making the announcement that she was whistled down or whatever that was.
Exactly.
I like how Pollen ended, cried at the last line. Spoiler alert. However, I've read the books and I feel they've already messed up Francesca's storyline with the cousin. In the books, the cousin pines away for Fran. They've already set it up that it's the other way around in the show. That will detract from the great love she has for John. I didn't like that bit at all. I'm all for inclusivity, but not if it changes the storyline too much, which is I agree with.
Yeah.
I'm very sad now, hoping they'll focus on Benedict next year. Veronica says it's obvious Netflix does not care about the source material at all. Why not just create an entirely new show and changing completely different storylines or something along those lines? Again, it's too
Yeah.
far. Michael and Michaela, I wanted more Colin and Penn. I'm
Hmm.
disappointed with this season. I want a Bridgerton Christmas special, a Victorian holiday. Basically, it's like Downton Abbey. Okay.
Right.
This season was a disappointment. Great for me, minus Kate and Anthony scenes. I'm excited to watch, but we need a Rokesby series. I don't even know what that is, so I'm gonna move past that. Fastest I've ever binge watched a show. Well, yeah, it's only 4 episodes.
Right.
Um, okay, and then some people are saying it was great.
Some, very few.
So, very few
Majority of
saying it was.
people were
Uh,
like mad ranting about
oh yeah.
Michaela.
Some
I
people
mean, there are thousands of likes on some posts about Michaela on Facebook.
And some people are saying, I'm done with the show. I'm done with the series.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm still not a fan of Colin and Penelope or that
Yeah.
crazy threesome mess with Benedict. I was disappointed with a lot of blush faces. Um, Here's something about Indian fertility. Uh, I'm not homophobic, love is love, but not when Francesca represents all women who struggle with infertility. I truly hope that
Yeah.
there will be a major plot twist and Michael will reappear.
Well,
Michael was my
let's
favorite
see.
character in the Bridgerton universe, so I confess I am heartbroken that they wrote him out of the series, and then they made Francesca physically repulsed by John's kiss. Gut
Mm,
punch. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
apparently.
What the hell? Oh
Mhm.
no.
Yeah,
Shonda. Shonda. Babe. Miss Rhymes, with all due respect, please listen to people. Please listen to the fans and see if there's something that can maybe be
that
done
can
to
be
fix
done. Yeah,
it. I don't know. Let's see.
yeah. I guess we'll see. And it'll be interesting to see also if the naysayers will change their mind or not.
Maybe. The
Yeah.
decision making ruined the season to no fault of the actors at all. The
Hmm.
season should have been better. Penelope is an amazing character and deserved to shine with the confidence in knowing who she is. I hate that so much attention was given to the side stories that didn't elevate or add to any meaning to the main characters. The switch in showrunners was very apparent, which is what we
Mm.
talked about earlier.
Yeah,
There's a
exactly.
lot of people are saying, and a lot of people are saying, production value was great, which of course, hello, Queen Charlotte's wigs.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So yeah, all right. So it doesn't. Moral of the story, fam, it does not seem as that people were pleased with the end result of Bridgerton season 3, part 2.
Nope, they did not seem happy.
I will be
Yep.
watching it. Well, I'll be watching it tomorrow night with Justine,
Yes.
my youngest sissy. But man, I'm not.
Maybe you can do a part two about the part two.
Maybe this could be before, and then this could be the, and then there could be the after, which I won't complain. I love that.
Exactly. Like
We have so much to talk about on this on your review show.
always. Always.
I don't know. Like, are you like how are you feeling about all of this? Like seeing this like remarkably like kind of negative reaction. Like I've never now again, this is not like anywhere near what I've read for Velma,
Uh-huh.
but to see something so beloved.
Yeah.
And we were talking about like Harry Potter. We were talking about this a little earlier. Harry
Yeah.
Potter, Hunger Games, like, people really show so much passion for these stories that they grew up with or they love. And like it is
Hmm.
disappointing when an adaptation for whatever reason is changed.
Absolutely. And I get it because like I know when I love like hell, so many books that I've read that were adapted into movies or TV shows, I was like, huh, mm, that was okay. Or that was good. That wasn't great. And I get like having skin in the game and really wanting to see something that you have imagined in your head and see like so incredibly done justice and like on the screen. So I get
Yep.
that. Yeah,
Like I honestly like I remember when they said Coraline was by Neil Gaiman was going to be a stop motion animated film. I was like,
yeah.
I don't know, like I don't. And also, if you read Coraline, it's a very short book. It's only like
Mm,
100 pages, and to expand that into like a 90-minute film, a
yeah.
stop motion film no less, a little scary.
Mm,
But honestly, one
yeah.
of the best book to movie adaptations. Have you watched it?
No, I have not. Oh
I
no, I
love
need to
Coraline
watch
so
it.
much. Well, we must watch it.
Perfect.
Add it to the list.
Add it to
Um,
the list.
but then in terms of terrible movie adaptations, Harry Potter and the Half Blood Prince, awful, awful adaptation.
You think so?
I thought so. I hated it. It's my least favorite. I I and Harry Potter honestly, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh, is that the second one? Wait, the
It's
Half-Blood Prince
so Half Blood Prince is the sixth one, and it sets you up for
sixth
Deathly
one.
Hallows.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah,
Now I need to watch the sixth one. Yeah. I
it's
remember the fifth,
so it's not
sixth
good.
movie, I forget. And then the seventh and eighth, of course, iconic for me.
Iconic, brilliant. But like
Love.
also, I wanted Harry Potter and the Half Blood Prince was one of my favorite books,
Uh-huh.
and I hated the movie adaptation. I despised what they did to Ginny Weasley. I was so mad at them for what they did to her and
Okay.
that whole storyline and the fact that Daniel Radcliffe looked like he was like just so kind of like bland and blah.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that way also about Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. That adaptation, I was so mad at the lack of comprehension from the book to the movie.
Mm.
I can tell you stories about me and my sister's reactions in the movie theater when we saw it. We were like,
Oh my gosh.
we walked out of there. We didn't say anything. I think we were
Mhm.
just like, what just happened? And I know that Harry Potter is like, you know, J.K. Rowling is
Mhm.
we don't
Canceled.
support J.K. Rowling anymore. But
Yes.
like those
So,
movies
yeah.
have a hold on my heart.
Yeah, I love the books and I
I love
love the
the books.
movies.
I love the books. I really do.
Yeah, I
I love
like
the
the
books.
movies a lot too.
I really wish I liked. I love movie one, movie two, and movie four.
Oh, movie four is
Everything else
beautiful.
though, I loved Sorcerer's Stone, loved Chamber of Secrets, loved Goblet of Fire. But
Yeah, Goblet.
everything else, I was just kind of like, ugh. Half-Blood
No.
Prince made me. Half-Blood Prince is the only one that made me like genuinely angry.
I mean, I loved the way it ended personally too. I thought it was
Oh, with
beautiful.
Fox flying away. Spoilers.
Oh no, I mean like the last two movies of Harry Potter. Yeah,
Oh, the last two movies are genius.
yeah, I really enjoyed them.
Yeah, I did too. I did too. I love the last two films.
Excellent. Well, everyone, watch Bridgerton season three, part two, and let us know what you
Yeah,
think in the comments
yeah.
below.
I'm really intrigued to see what some of you are going to say. I really, and
So,
obviously, again, not watching it. Maybe we'll do a part two after we indulged.
watch it.
Um, but thank you for watching,
Thank
and
you.
Jackie, thank you for allowing me to come on and rant at 2 a.m. in the
Anytime, anytime. I love it. I love it.
Oh my God, perfect. This is when I'm most like just no filter, no filter at all.
And I'm sure people will love it too.
Oh my God. Oh, thank you. I
You're
appreciate that.
welcome.
So sorry.
No, not at all. Nothing to apologize for.
All right. Have a
Thanks,
good night.
ma'am. Good night. Get some rest. Not
Get
like
some rest.
us.
Yeah, no, don't be like us. We're bad examples.
Terrible. Ciao.
Ciao.